My favorite part about being a mom is everything from birth till now. I loved every minute of having children. I think it's the greatest thing you can do is raise your children for the Lord. That was my goal. Still is.
My favorite part about being a mom would be being there for all of their first and getting to experience things through their eyes instead of my own eyes. With Chloe, sometimes the things she notices are completely different than the things I notice. It's just very interesting to see their perspective of the same thing that I see, but it's almost as if they have just pure innocent joy with how they see the world.
I have 5 children. They range in age from 55 to 43. The most challenging thing is just keeping them on the right track. And in spite of all your efforts, they are going to do what they want to do at certain times in your life. And that's when you stay on your knees.
The most challenging thing about being a mom, I think, is trying to find a balance between love and discipline and friendship and authority. And that to me, I think, would be, you always want to be the buddy, but you can't always be the buddy. And I think sometimes that's the hardest part, is having to be the one who causes tears or cause your kid to be mad at you to do the right thing.
My mother was delightful in many ways, quick-tempered, but very loving, very fond of her children. And I do have very fond memories of her having the Bible in her lap and we children gathered around as she read.
One of my fondest memories of my mom would probably have to be when I had Chloe. She came down to stay with us, and we didn't know when Chloe was coming. Chloe came the day after my mom came into town, and she stayed for the first 2 weeks, and it was a tremendous help for Jason and I because we had no idea what to do with a newborn baby, and my mom was there to help guide us or just let us figure our own way out, but she was there if we needed her, and that was a time that I look back and thankful my mom was there.
My mom prayed about everything, and I tried to make that a policy for my life. With the help of the church is, I think, the only way that I could have ever raised them, and they become the people they are today. I'm very proud and very pleased with the people they are today.
My mom was always one who was very gentle and kind and slow to anger, and I don't think I'm as good at that as she is, but I think of her in the situations when I do get frustrated, and I try to be more like that. And she was always great at giving us choices and letting us know our consequences beforehand. And I do notice that I do that a lot with Chloe, and I think that's because my mom raised us to have choices but be held accountable for our choices.
We never put the children to bed without having a Bible study. We had the old time promise box, and each child could pull out a promise, and they each got to read, and then we held hands and prayed. We found that children who read the Bible together, at least the scripture, and hold hands and pray for each other, fight just a little bit less.
I would advise that you find other young mothers to be friends with. We had Chloe when I was 22 and he was 23, and all of our friends at that time were not on the schedule we were on, and they didn't have quiet time at the times we had quiet time, and our friends kind of went to the wayside, and we sort of felt alone for the first few years that she was around. And I think if you can find friends that are in your boat that also have young children coming or already existing, or even if they're just nieces and nephews that they're involved heavily with, I think you won't feel so alone, because you do find that you're in your own world all of a sudden, because your friends can stay up till midnight, 2 in the morning, and you're finding yourself like, shh, at 10 o'clock at night, please don't wake the baby.
I think Young mothers really face a challenge today, and the greatest thing they can do is to keep their children in a good Sunday school, some sort of Christian program, like Caravans is a good one. The other thing is to realize that your children are just children. Don't expect them to be little adults. Love them at the age they are. Pick your battles. Some things that are important to you just won't be important in the long run. Try to understand, because each child is an individual who will need separate and individual attention throughout their lifetime.
My advice would be to enjoy your time when you are young and make sure that you plan as much as you possibly can. We didn't plan it. We thought we were 9 years off from having kids. That was our goal, and Chloe surprised us, and we spent 9 months scurrying trying to prepare for her. And when we look back, we laugh and think that if only we had planned better, then maybe we could have had things better prepared for her when she arrived. But as much as you try to prepare, I don't think you can. You know, parenthood is messy and children are messy, and sometimes the best thing to do is try to prepare, but always have a plan B of just go with it.
My dreams when I was young was to become an actress. And from the second grade on, I was in every school play I could get in. And that was really my goal, was to be an actress. But God had something else much more important in store, and I am not sorry that instead I raised children for the Lord.
Nothing except Happy Mother's Day, everybody.